Did you guys see Frogan's lawsuit defense fund has a $10,000 top donation now from a Scott Manolis? And when you check for a Scott Manolis, the only name that comes up is like an actor. Let me bring this up here. One credit for Mainly, etc. in 2001. I don't know if that's them or who the hell this is, but that's all I could find on that name. Regardless of who it was that donated the $10,000 to Frogan's lawsuit defense fund, that money, in my humble opinion, he should have just written a check to Ethan Klein and said, hey, please consider dropping the lawsuit. Here's $10,000. I think it would have made more sense and potentially gone a lot further than just giving it to Frogan. Call me crazy. But here's the other thing. Frogan had a $200,000 goal, and that was from earlier today for the 23. It's now at 24, almost $25,000 raised in the first 2 days, which is insane. Absolutely insane. This is a situation where any dollar you're giving to these people most likely is going to be lit on fire and burned up in lawyer fees. There's going to be no, like, they don't even have a defense. There is no defense. Like, even if you get a really good lawyer and the lawyer does a really good case, you still just, the judge will look at it and be like, yeah, but they said they are actively doing this on purpose to take views away from this person. Like, and oh, by the way, Ethan registered his video with the Library of Congress to do this, to make sure that everything was above board with how he covered his ass with all of it. So again, giving money to someone like this to me is insane. Coming from someone who, by the way, has a give, send, and go for a lawsuit currently. Me, I'm saying this about someone else. You would think, if anything, I'd be like, yeah, you know what? I understand how this goes because you need this, you need that. And it's like, nope. The difference being, and I know there's a lot of people that will, my haters especially, that are watching. So what's up, haters? That are trying to find out the hypocrisy or the contradictions. These people have no case. That's the difference. They literally got caught red-handed trying to steal content. And they are on video saying pretty much that is what they're doing. And they have an organized Reddit where they file people to their own videos and have most likely Discords as well in the background to organize all the people to make sure that the least amount of people are watching H3H3's video, and they're going to watch it on another site in itself. And the problem that I have with this is people like Frogan, people like Denims, people like the Casey Tron, people like them, they're ruining it for authentic reaction channels. This kind of shit is what destroys the very fabric and foundation of reacting to content. And for a very long time, YouTubers had it good, where we're able to just have a general nuanced understanding of reaction content and reacting to information and giving our thoughts on it. And like, I think it was Asmongold that even said it, when you leave a video running and your chair is just sitting there and you're gone for 3 or 4 minutes or whatever, you go to the bathroom, you're getting a drink, you're just gone, it's just playing for a good amount of time. And you come back and sit down in the chair and you ask your chat what you missed, and that's all you really say. That's not reaction. That's not transformative. That's literally the opposite of the whole purpose of being able to react to things. And what I really don't like about this situation, and I do not blame H3H3 as much as I want to, I don't like that this lawsuit is going to add more red tape. by default. It's going to make things more rigid, more structured, and make it less natural for just being authentically, let me talk about what I want to talk about. But going back to what I was saying about what Asmongold was saying about these people getting up and leaving and coming back, he was saying, don't people come to you for your thoughts, your unique take, even if other people think your take is bad. It's kind of like I think there's a general sense of the community that would say that the DSP people would go to DSP not to get some deep, insightful reaction, but because it's just such a ridiculous reaction and you never know what he's going to say. It's the nicest way to put it, which is why people would watch him. But that's the thing, is people go to your channels to watch you. They want to know what your thoughts are on the information that you're reacting to. So the fact that these people are so untalented, lacking any form or fiber of self acknowledgement, understanding, and what you're even doing in the first place. When you turn your camera on, my brain is like broken. I don't even know what to say. Like, you are so untalented that you have nothing to say, that you literally turn your brand into, come to me so that you don't give him a view. That's what you've turned into. I mean, I'm sure if the money's good enough, you can sleep at night fine. But how embarrassing. You have to be able to come to terms with yourself and realize that, man, you really have absolutely nothing to offer this world, except for a tunnel into giving a view to someone else, taking a view away from someone else. That's it. That's it. And the fact that there's people donating, like this Scott Manolis, $10,000 as the top donation. And then we got two other donations of $1,000 each for Frogan. And that's just Frogan. And she's up to almost, like I said, $25,000. Going over to Denims. This was from earlier today. Let me refresh. It's at 15.7. 18,500. Top donation, 1,000. 1,000. This is crazy to me. And then the redheaded stepchild of the group, Casey Tron, who earlier today had 5,000. Let's see. Already has almost $7,500. So combined, these people have almost, actually, it's over $50,000 combined between the three of them. $50,000 has been gifted, donated, thrown away, lit on fire to these three people that were caught stealing content. That's insane to me. Now, the one thing I will say is, in the grand scheme, it's really not that many people. You might say, oh, it's a lot of money, but 448 donations. That's not a lot of people. That's in the grand scheme of how many viewers they have. That's less than like 0.01% of their viewers, which should probably tell you something. For those that are wondering, as far as mine's concerned, for a much smaller channel, my Give Send Go, I have over 1,000 people that have donated to mine. Now, granted, it has been going on for a lot longer than 2 days, but in the grand scheme, I did not get the nationwide publicity news on mine. Mine was a very niche situation that did not get massive coverage from huge channels. It didn't get talked about constantly by any big channels. I don't think Asmongold ever talked about it. Asmongold's been talking about these situations on the daily now with Frogan and Denims and Casey Tron. So they're getting a lot more eyeballs on the situation, a lot more people watching it, paying attention to it. And at the end of the day, they're still failing to even garner anyone that gives a shit, which is crazy. Blaze 718 says, shaking my head. People should be ashamed for giving money to these clowns. I mean, you'd think, but at this point in this world, you know how it goes. If people have money and they watch these channels religiously and they want to support them, they're indoctrinated. They're just like, oh yeah, I'll give you money. I need to. It's how they garner their audience in the first place. That's crazy. Asmongold, this is from Yeet says, Asmongold thinks Denims, Frogan, and Casey John are cooked, and it's already too late, and they should be worried. They can cry, get mad. How can you say something bad about me when I'm trying to fight that? That's not going to work in a court of law. See what he says here.
About that lawsuit, I'm going to just talk about that for a couple of minutes, okay? They can cry, they can bitch, they can get mad, they can act like they're, but let me just tell you this. How can you say something bad about me when I'm trying to fight against a genocide? That's not going to work in a court of law.
Yeah, but you know what they are going to do? They're going to pull the Alyssa Mercante. Oh, it's a mass hate campaign. It's harassment by the community. It's not going to work, but it's definitely, one of them already started talking about it in their GoFundMe. It's definitely the crutch they're going to lead hard on because it's all they have. When you have nothing, you go back to, hate campaign, harassment campaign. When you have absolutely nothing, that's what you fall back on because that's something nobody can ever question.
And so they really should worry. They should be worried because the entire apparatus that supports them is completely artificial. It's totally artificial and it's retarded. So the moment that you have people that actually, give a shit about reality, this immediately is going to fall apart. And so don't you dare criticize me during a genocide. Exactly. Their incomes this year is about to get genocided. Yeah, you're right. And that's it. She said she's countersuing for doxing her, which I don't think he did. I don't think so either. And I think that if they do anything about it, they try to get it shut down.
You can't, I mean, you can sue someone for anything. I shouldn't say you can't do that. From my own personal experience, I could have countersued Alyssa for doxing me, which is what she did in the lawsuit. And I talked to a lawyer, Ron Coleman, about that very thing. And he basically told me as much as theoretically, yeah, you could, but it's not the smartest thing to do. He's like, that's more one of those things that you bring up to the judge during the trial where you let the judge know, hey, just so you know, this is actually what happened and how it happened. And it's not a good look. And the judge is a human. And they're like, ooh. He's like, so you let the judge know during the trial about that kind of thing. It's not necessarily something you should sue someone over, but yes, you can sue someone over anything, but it's not likelihood of winning with that kind of stuff. Exactly. PS5 gamer, you'd spend more than you would reap. Exactly.
It's just going to make it worse. So honestly,
I don't think people really grasp the severity of a lawsuit with how much money is involved in it, how serious it really is. Like, this is a very serious situation. I'm talking personally with my situation right now. I genuinely do not think Alyssa, maybe she just doesn't give a fuck. And she just thinks, oh, I'm a woman, I'm going to win because I'm a woman. And it's like, no, that doesn't work in a court of law. Like, you can't just claim, oh, harassment, I'm a woman. That doesn't work. I mean, maybe it will if you get an activist judge or something like that is super feminist, maybe, but it shouldn't fly in a court of law. And if that's the case, and if they do see things my way, this could be an extremely, extremely devastating financial impact to Alyssa. Could it be financially devastating to me as well? Theoretically, yes, it could. Yes, it could. But at the same time, just being real, and maybe this might come across as cocky, I don't mean it to be, but with the support that I've seen from the community up to this point, I'm very confident that if things don't go my way, that there will be a shitload of people there to support me, knowing that I fought this tooth and nail as much as I possibly can. And if it doesn't get seen my way, everyone's going to see exactly what happened. It's going to be very public, and people can make of that what they will if I do not come out of this victorious. So, but yeah, I feel like people are very flippant about lawsuits. It's like, no. If you're going to sue someone, prepare for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like, prepare minimum. And if you're going to sue someone for a stupid reason, you are a moron. You don't sue someone for a stupid reason. The courts hate that shit.
I feel like they're already fucked, right? And also with people like that, once things like this start happening, usually...
Oh, good point, by the way. And Cane Bladed, I said this before. If I lose, she now established a precedent for me to sue her back. Exactly. If I lose, I could literally use this case as Exhibit A for what I'm suing her for back. And I have miles and miles of receipts. So, yeah, exactly. I don't know if she doesn't understand that, or if she thinks she's invincible, or what. But to say her lawsuit against me is on shaky grounds is probably the nicest way to put that I could.
They keep happening. And so, like, I feel like they're basically cooked no matter what. And this is for Summit. Perfect time to ventilate. Denims raised 15K. For Ethan, that's nice of her to do that.
Absolutely cooked. Now, speaking of DSP and countersuits, DSP claims he is going to be rich, and many will get in trouble after the news of Ethan Klein lawsuits. Did you guys see this one? So Yeet originally posted Ethan talks about why he's suing Denims, Frogan, and Casey Tron specifically. Claims they reacted in malicious ways to siphon views from his content nuke. Ethan also wants to fix the React meta on Twitch, pointing out that major companies like Sony and Disney could swoop in, and it continues. But that was from the video from H3H3, and he makes a lot of valid points. And DSP jumps in. Their entire channels making bank by stealing live rebroadcasting my content without making it transformative. They outright ask for contributions to do so. If this lawsuit goes through, I'm going to be rich, and many are going to be in trouble. Oh, DSP, the headcanon is amazing. Me too, guys. Me too. Hey, I'm going to sue people too if this goes through. I mean, a lawyer will always tell you this too, and it's a very important thing to remember. Don't sue people that don't have money, because you cannot get juice out of a lemon that has no juice in it. You can't squeeze anything out of a rock. You ever heard that saying, you can't squeeze water out of a stone, or however it goes? That's basically what it comes to legal terms. If people are going to be suing people without money and they don't have anything to fall back on, you are going to be the one on the hook spending all the money on lawyer fees. Lawyers aren't going to take your case unless you pay them up front, and then there's going to be nothing to get out of it. So DSP needs to understand how all of this works. But I thought that was absolutely hysterical. And this is the other part of it, where Ethan thinks Frogan, Denims, and Casey Tron will be begging him to settle.
I'm suing somebody.
First time on the other side.
We've only ever been sued.
It's like I said, I was closing one front and opening another, and I got to tell you, for the first time in my life, it is. I'm not going to say it is a nicer feeling. Let's say being on the other side,
Right.
especially when you know your cases are like easy slam dunks. These people are going to be begging me to settle.
This is our first time.
Which is weird for him to say, because it almost makes it sound like that he's fine with that. That he almost doesn't want this to go all the way to the end. That he does want to settle. Because someone who wants to push all the way to the end isn't going to hint at, oh, they're going to beg me to settle. Like, he almost wants to come to the table with them to grab them by the metaphorical nuts and tell them how it's going to be.
I'm suing somebody.
First time on the other side.
We've only
Oh, they just repeated again. But yeah, I thought that was fascinating. Fascinating stuff. And here's one more. Let me see. This one is simply from, this is from early on. Denims in particular, who is trying to bait Ethan to sue her, or in general, people to sue her. So let's see what she has to say.
How's the lawsuit going? Nowhere, because Ethan Klein's too much of a sue me because he knows he'll lose. I love these people though that are like, any day now, he's gonna sue. He's gonna sue. Chat, just a reminder, by the way, just a reminder. After he paraded on the internet about how he was gonna sue me and he wanted to sue me, guess what? Still no lawsuit. Oh my God, he's so bitch made. I'm actually pretty certain that his lawyer told him to stop going after me. His lawyer most likely said, dude, like, you need to stop. Like, you actually need to stop. Whatever, you think I'm an idiot, you think I'm the dumbest person alive, that's fine. Go read the lawsuit. Maybe if you don't want to respect me, you can go respect a judge and a lawyer.
Oof. So she's talking a big game, but ultimately it comes back and bites her in the ass. And here's the very big difference, because I know people keep going back to the, isn't that the same thing where you were saying, Alyssa, where's the lawsuit? Alyssa, for me, in my case, the difference is I'm not shitting my pants because I know what my rights are and I understand what the law is. I would imagine Denims here in particular, if she wasn't a complete fucktard, if she actually understood the severity of the situation, she would be losing a shit ton of sleep right now and be very, very stressed out. If I were her and this lawsuit was coming at me, I'd be very nervous. As opposed to, I would definitely take the one I'm dealing with right now over what she's dealing with. I'll put it that way. But anyways, I'll leave that one there.